Bitcoin has just bounced from the most important support box of this entire region, and on today's update video I will be exactly explaining about why this level is so important, what could be happening next for Bitcoin, is this downtrend going to be continuing for Bitcoin, and of course I will be talking about the most important charts and patterns which are currently playing out in the market right now, including the fact that still more than $10 billion worth of Bitcoin short liquidations are being built above us, MicroStrategy that is planning to buy another $2 billion worth of Bitcoin, and of course Mt. Gox that is going to sell another $2 billion worth of Bitcoin. So can we once again slam that like button back above 1,000 likes? It will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. So first of all, yesterday on my X page I talked about how we were dumping towards the downside and that this gray box was the most important level to be holding, and that was also exactly the level we bounced from, right? So you can clearly see this was the previous liquidity zone in this market, and this was also exactly the level where we found that bounce from. So the reason, of course, why I talked about this level is because Bitcoin tends to do and create these price actions many times here. Because if you're looking at the daily time frame, you can see also over here on this move towards the downside, Bitcoin just grabbed that liquidity exactly below that previous low in the market, and then we of course created the bottom and Bitcoin bounced back towards the upside, right? And that is basically what happened this time around once again. Bitcoin went exactly below that previous low in the market. Everyone at that point thought, okay, now we're breaking down. But of course, like I said on my X page, that we're still need to be holding the gray box, and of course if we lose the gray box then we're going to be screwed, but that clearly did not happen. Bitcoin actually bounced from the gray box and currently still trading on 64.5k. So if we're right now looking at the bigger things of it all, we're still trading in a massive downtrend where we're creating lower highs. What we really want to be seeing next year is that Bitcoin is going to be flipping this high structure. I mean, I don't really care about this high right here in the market, but what I do care about is this high in the market right here. If we can take out 66.7k, I believe that that point then we can start to see a bigger reversal back towards the upside, and most likely Bitcoin is just going to be flying back towards $70,000 again here. But of course I am not expecting that is necessarily going to be happening so quickly. I think we're going to be seeing some reaccumulation, and what is important to understand is that currently Mt. Gox has been selling a lot of Bitcoin. And guys, this fight is almost over because they only have an approximately 32,000 Bitcoins left, and that is worth an approximately $2.1 billion. And yesterday also we got the news that MicroStrategy is planning to be buying another $2 billion worth of equity. And also some more breaking news, MicroStrategy actually announced yesterday that they're planning to be buying another $2 billion worth of Bitcoin, which is of course going to be additionally create even more buy pressure for the Bitcoin price action. So if we're looking at the bigger things on the 4-hourly time frame, we saw the big reversal here on the lower side, we saw the bottom formation, Bitcoin bounce back towards the upside, and we have not broken below this range right here. So we're actually technically still holding the trend here, and Bitcoin is still holding this level right now. So this is actually looking quite good. So we're creating an ascending broadening wedge here, which is of course an interesting pattern to be looking at. But personally, I will be looking mostly at this downward sloping resist line and at this very important middle range, which I'm right now going to be drawing for you, because this range right here where we're currently trading in, I'm going to be making it the gray box, is going to be just crucial for Bitcoin. And you can clearly see it. Previously around, we found support, we got massively rejected. Once we broke below it, we saw a big downtrend, we saw a rejection right here, big support right here, big support right here. And once again on yesterday's candle, Bitcoin exactly got supported by this exact level. So Bitcoin indeed has been coming down ever so slightly, but it isn't so big deal as most people are currently saying. And especially since we holded that gray box, which I think is the most crucial level of this entire trend, I think Bitcoin is still actually looking quite okay here. I mean, it could have looked better, but it is still looking quite okay. And if you're looking at the daily candle close from yesterday, we actually created quite a big wick here, and that wick is in my opinion looking just quite bullish here for Bitcoin right now here. So as long as we're going to be holding above that mid-range, or better said that previous monthly candle open, as long as we're holding above that range, I don't believe there's going to be a big reason to really be panicking on Bitcoin right now, and the chances that this is a trap are only going to be increasing. And of course, the only moment I'm going to be saying Bitcoin is going to be hitting $70,000 again here is really once Bitcoin breaks above 66.5k, because that's the previous range high in the market. I mean, currently we're technically still trading in a massive downtrend, and we only bounce from that very important liquidity zone. And if we're just going to be looking at the liquidation heat map, we can clearly see there's still more than $10 billion worth of Bitcoin short liquidations being built above us. You can see around $70,000, approximately $6 billion worth of Bitcoin short liquidations are laying, and then from 72 to 73, we're seeing another like 7 to 8 billion US dollars worth of Bitcoin short liquidation. So there's going to be a massive liquidation as Bitcoin is going to be increasing in valuation. And yesterday as well, on the spot Bitcoin ETF, we saw 191 million US dollars inflow on the new ETF from Grayscale, the BTC ETF, with the lowest fees of them all. BlackRock really clearly slowing down, maybe due to the fact that Grayscale is, of course, trying to be a better competitor. Massive outflows from Fidelity, from ARK Invest, and maybe they are going to be also lowering their fees to become a little bit more attractive. So we're still seeing the fee wars going on right now, and definitely very interesting to see how the environment is currently changing. So yeah, going in towards my trade, guys, looking at Bitcoin, I believe that still we are not looking so bad as most people are currently saying here in this chart. I think Bitcoin is just retesting that middle range here, and consolidation is just healthy. And I've said it for many times before, we're currently consolidating in this trend for already over 157 days here. And if you're going to be looking at this chart right here, let me get the correct chart, you can see that Bitcoin always have created massive consolidation patterns. And whenever the consolidation patterns out of this large scale consolidation breaks out, it tends to create a very big move here. And of course, in the bear market, we had moves going downwards, we have moved going downward, and then in that reaccumulation phase, we actually went upwards, and now we're in that very strong upward sloping trend here. It would be extremely stupid to argue right now that this trend is going to be reversing due to the fact that, first of all, we're seeing millions getting bought for the spot ETFs. We're seeing all kinds of bullish factors playing out. Mt. Gox is almost out of Bitcoin, guys. The news, the FUD is almost over that Mt. Gox can sell their Bitcoins, guys. We are looking extremely good for the market, and it's going to be likely that this trend is going to be continuing. So I'm going to be holding my trade open. My targets, guys, first take profit, 72,000 US dollars. Second take profit is laying around 88,000 US dollars. I'm planning to cash millions of dollars with this exact trade right here. So if you're interested in trading yourself, make sure to check it out in the link description of today's video, because if you press on the highest link in the description of today's video, guys, you will come to this page where you can claim a free 500 US dollar airdrop position on Bybit, which is extremely valuable to claim. So if you're interested in trading, check it out in the link description of today's video. But going further, we can still see this massive downtrend getting created on Bitcoin, and really the moment where we are going to be breaking above this downtrend, that is the point where I believe the bull market is going to continuing. I mean, you can clearly see we're creating a massive bull flag pattern, and we're just waiting for that resistance to get cleared. And this is of course already taking ages, but this is what happens in these large scale consolidation patterns. And you can see that, for instance, in this consolidation phase, Bitcoin went sideways for over 224 days here, and right now Bitcoin is only going sideways for like 150 days. So another 3 months of consolidation is definitely realistic and could be happening for Bitcoin. I know it is extremely boring, but this is just reality right now in the market. This is what we're looking at right now for Bitcoin. I mean, honestly, on the monthly time frame, consolidation is looking extremely bullish. And yeah, you can clearly see that if I'm looking at my Fibonacci extension levels, we can clearly see that two take profit targets I'm going to be aiming for is 99,200 and 89,400. Those are my two targets that I will be aiming for in the next leg towards the upside, because if Bitcoin creates that next leg, if Bitcoin breaks above the downward sloping resistance line, which you can see on all these charts right here, guys, I think that first of all, we're going to be hitting 89,000 US dollars and then 99,000 US dollars, and not 100K, guys. I'm going to be aiming for 99.2K. I think that's a more realistic target where Bitcoin could potentially top out for a larger time in the market, but let's see how it's going to be playing out here. Anyways, this is my strategy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to slap the like button, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.